chief guest of today's function, Honorable Professor Dr. P.S. Patil sir, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. On the behalf of Ashok Ramani Group, I heartily welcome sir for this program. And I am thankful to sir for accepting our invitation and in spite of such a busy schedule, for his valuable presence and guidance to all of us. Thank you, sir. I also welcome Dr. John D'Souza, sir, Principal, Tatesat Kore College of Pharmacy, Varnanagar, President, Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Local Branch, Kolhapur. Welcome, sir. I welcome all the principals of our units, Dr. D.R. Zarge, sir, Dr. Abhijit Kulkarni, sir, Dr. Nilesh Chogule, sir, all principals of different units, Dr. Patarkar sir, and all senior faculty members, all PG students, PhD scholars, and this program, Artificial Intelligence. I think everybody is aware of that, AI, and in fact it is so popular nowadays that in all sectors AI is used, not only in engineering, in all other areas like agriculture, admin, automobile, every areas. And how come a pharmacy field will be behind of the artificial intelligence? And most of the pharmaceutical products, and most of the pharmaceutical industry, AI-based discoveries are now starting. So that is need of an hour to know, to have knowledge about what is exactly AI and in what way it is useful for pharmaceuticals. With this intention, we have organized speakers, we have contacted, very few people are available to talk on AI. So all the experts we called from our side. In fact, we know so many areas of the AI. Most famous example that is ChatGPT, you know. I think it is launched in November 22 all over the colleges. More than 270 from Serum India, senior managers. In what way? In vaccine from this. Then next session tomorrow, that Professor M.S. Bhatia sir, regarding impact.
Thank you so much for the introduction. It's a time to felicitation now. I request to our dynamic personality, beloved principal, Dr. S.V. Patil sir, to felicitate young and enlightened personality, chief guest Professor Dr. P.S. Patil sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, with the shawl, Shreefar, memento book as a token of love.
Chancellor of Shivaji University, Dr. P.S. Patil sir. One of my very dynamic student who is principal of this congregation, Dr. Sachin. I should not take much of time in taking names. All my lovely friends who are principal at different colleges in the different institutions under umbrella of PASAC. Manya Shikshan Prasaran sir. All my students who are now been coordinating this event, and I could see them as a leader in academia in pharmacy, and participant delegates. At the outset, I must take this privilege to congratulate Dr. Sachin and his team for taking this particular topic aptly and writing proposal to serve and getting grant and organizing this particular conference. So congratulations, Sachin sir and his team. The other day I was just just thinking of this artificial intelligence, and my son who is doing MBBS was just, today's generation is far, smart in the technology. He was telling, Daddy, do you know what is this chat GPT, and then what is this artificial intelligence, machine learning, data mining? I said no. I heard of it, but I'm not knowing much. Then he said it's very simple. When you scroll any video on YouTube, when you scroll any data on even Facebook and any other social media, the relevant videos are recommended they come in the pipeline, right? And that is what is one of the application you can say. As a principal coordinator of Varna Science Center, I must tell you that I had applied for one of the grant, and Rajiv Gandhi Science and Technology Commission has granted 3.5 crores to it, setting technology lab there, wherein 18 virtual exhibits will be installed, wherein we could see the exhibition of this augmented and virtual reality. The question is how this is going to be. We are going to see the galaxy of people here, and we are going to listen to them with, what exactly this AI is and how this is going to impact the pharmaceutical field. So I should not take much of time in talking about it. I should be, answering to one of your question, and that is whether this AI/ML or big data management will replace human being. So this is what is the question which is in everybody's mind. My understanding on this, I will tell you in one or two sentences, and I'll take your leave. My understanding on this is AI, ML, and whatever big data management, big data mining you can say, will not replace human being. This is actually alarm for all of us. Why artificial intelligence has come? Because human being who is actually required to be emotionally intelligent is becoming artificial intelligent. And to complement it, what is happening is we are using technology to see that we can replace human being, to reduce the human errors. But I am sure this is not going to happen. What is going to happen is I am will replace human being, and not I am. And are you getting the meaning? Whenever we say I am doing it, so this I am will replace human being instead of AIML. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Dr. P.S. Patil sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Dr. John D'Souza sir, Principal TKCP Varna Nagar, Dr. S.V. Patil sir, Principal MCP, Dr. Nilesh Chaubale sir, Dr. D.R. Jadge sir, Dr. S. Kulkarni sir, all the faculty members and dear delegates. So it's my immense pleasure to introduce about today's chief guest, Dr. P.S. Patil sir. So before his introduction, let me tell you about importance of this day. As it is 14th of July 2023, and as we know, we are waiting for 2:35 p.m. time. As ISRO scientists, they are ready for Chandrayaan 3. So 6 months before, the chairman of this ISRO, he decided the date of Chandrayaan 3 in between 13 to 19 July. And 6 months before, our principal, Dr. S.V. Patil sir, he has submitted application to serve for the seminar grant. And I don't know what conversation was happened between chairman of ISRO and our principal. Both decided the date 14 July, and now we are eager for one thing, that is the Chandrayaan 3, and the second is we are eager to listen the new concept in the pharmacy, that is the artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical product development related with the drug discovery, drug development and all other things. So big congratulations to ISRO chairman as well as our principal sir. So it's my immense pleasure to introduce about today's chief guest, Honorable Professor Dr. P.S. Patil sir, Pro Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Actually, I am having his brief biodata. 6-7 pages biodata is there. But without taking more time, as we are eager to listen to sir, so I will read in short. So sir has total 31 years of teaching and research experience, and his major field of research that mainly includes renewable energy, that is the development of third generation solar cells, as well as energy storage devices, that is batteries and supercapacitors, chemi-resistive toxic gas sensors, electrochromic smart windows coating, then nanofabrics as well as nanomaterials. So vast experience sir is having. He has 492 international journal papers as well as 5 patents. He has produced total 44 PhD students, and he is a recipient of so many awards, the prestigious DAD Fellowship from Germany as well as Brain Pool Fellowship from the South Korea. He is a fellow of Institute of Physics, London, UK, member of National Academic Sciences, India, and he is a fellow of Maharashtra Academy of Sciences. He has received Best Teacher Award from Shivaji University, Kolhapur in the year of 2014.
The president of this function and the principal of college, Dr. S.V. Patil sir. Another principal who is present over here is a profound researcher in the pharmacy, Dr. John D'Souza, Dr. Bangar, Dr. Mute, who is invited speaker today. After my lecture, he is going to talk on artificial intelligence. Other dignitaries on the dais, teachers, principals, and my dear participant friends. I am indeed very happy to be here on the occasion of inaugural function of 2 days national level seminar on artificial intelligence in pharmaceutical product development, sponsored by SERB New Delhi and organized by Ashok Rao Mani College of Pharmacy, Petwadgaon. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate Dr. S.V. Patil and his entire team for organizing this very prestigious conference on the college campus. As just now it has been narrated that how inquisitively Dr. S.V. Patil thought about organizing this conference 6 months ago, and today is the day in which you all have participated. He has a vision of how to develop this college and how to develop the students of this college in the domain of pharmacy. And he wanted to give something innovative, something creative. And therefore, he tried and decided to organize this conference. And for that particular conference, you need funding. And the funding, and this particular conference has been sponsored by Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, which is rarely happen in the college affiliated to Shivaji University. So I definitely would like to congratulate all of you, because one, for getting the funds for organizing this conference from Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, which comes under Ministry of Education. Okay, and that is a very important step for the college like yours college. And the pharmacy sector, I am very happy. I was telling in the morning to Lord John D'Souza sir and for Patil sir that I am very happy as a Pro Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University as far as pharmacy domain is concerned, because I have taken over as the charge of Pro Vice Chancellor for the last 2.5 years. And within these 2.5 years, and before that 5 years, I worked as the Dean of Science and Technology faculty, and I was handling pharmacy faculty also.
And during these 7.5 years of my tenure in Shivaji University, Kolhapur, I did not receive a single complaint from pharmacy. The credit goes to orchestrating efforts of all the principals and teachers, harmony between them and healthy atmosphere in between them. They have very biggest potential of building a team. And team building is very, very important, whether it is artificial intelligence, whether it is pharmacy, whether it is any hardcore research. Team building is first and foremost important thing as far as the country like India is concerned. We should team up. We should put in not only efforts, but we should put in orchestrating efforts. Orchestrating effort means many experts should come together on the same platform and think about the same problem together. Then and then only we can create some innovative solution that no country can think about. So it is the need of our country that we should develop something creative that is totally innovative in this world. We should not imitate anyone. We should not copy and paste. We should inculcate the habit of creativity and ingenuity. Is it really possible? If we think in that direction, I think it is possible. And how it is possible? For that particular thing, I have worked for almost 30 years in the domain of research, and I have proved that it is possible. Okay? And therefore, my dear friends, I am very happy that pharmacy domain affiliated to Shivaji University is doing wonderful way. And today, you people, or most of the participants, are from postgraduate pharmacy course, and I wish you all the best. You please go for creativity, curiosity and inquisitiveness. That is really needed for something, doing something unique, out of box idea, which is not available in any country of the world. Friends, we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Our country is celebrating 75 years after independence, and still we are in the domain of developing nation. We want to jump from the domain of developing nation into the domain of developed nation. Is it really possible for us to accomplish this task within the next 25 years? That is the question. And if we really want to become independent, if we really want to become Atmanirbhar, we have to do a focused efforts in the next 25 years. Whether it is pharmacy, whether it is engineering, or whether it is in the basic science and technology field. Okay? And if you really want to do something better, you have to think differently. Think independently. We should teach students to think independently. And how it is possible, that I am going to tell you briefly in my lecture. So today's topic is artificial intelligence. When Dr. S.V. Patil sir came to my cabin for inviting me as a chief guest, I told him that I am not expert in artificial intelligence. I come under old generation. New generation knows more better about artificial intelligence, machine learning, chatbot and ChatGPT than me. And but he insisted and said, I also thought that it is a good opportunity for me to tell the students what will be the future of ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, and altogether what will be the future of our research and development in the country like India. So therefore I accepted this, and then I was thinking in the morning that what I should talk. Since I am a man of physics, and I did research, a lot of research in the material science. I wanted to establish myself as a researcher, good researcher in the field of material science. I struggled a lot, right from the beginning, when I started my PhD work in the 1986 and completed my PhD in 1989 within the 3 years. During those periods, we struggled a lot. There were no books, there were no internet, there were no smartphones, no mobiles, no chatbots, nothing, not even screwdrivers. So those were the days in which we struggled a lot and did a lot of work, and then I realized that telling the difficulties to others will not solve your problems. You have to learn on yourself how to overcome those difficulties, how to overcome those barriers. Don't cry. You have to have that particular spirit of fighting with the odds that comes into your life if you really want to become success. Okay? And that was the habit inculcated in me in my early days of research in the year 1986. Fortunately, I got a lot of exposure. I visited a lot of premier institutes like IITs and NITs. ISERs were not there and many other institutes were not there those days. But I visited various IITs and mostly IIT Bombay was one of our collaborators. My professor fortunately has a collaborative project with IIT Bombay and therefore I got an opportunity to visit those laboratories and saw what exactly are the facilities these IITians are using, how they are thinking and what are the ways in which they conduct the research in a different manner. How do they publish in good journals and we cannot publish in good journals. I also visited libraries. And in the libraries I found a lot of different things that I have never seen in my life. Like we needed ASTM data, American Standard Code data is there that we required, that particular CD was there. Somehow I could get hold of that CD and brought to Shivaji University for some of the calculations that you know. How to characterize your sample, how to use the sophisticated instruments for your research and so on and so forth. Then I fixed my target which was very high. So for the students I am telling you that you can also set the targets which are not possible to achieve easily. For that you have to struggle. And who will set the target for you? Yourself. Similarly, I also set my target myself that I have to visit some international university in the year 1989. At the end of my PhD, I wanted to visit some developed country and so wanted to see the laboratory and development of that laboratory in that university abroad. Fortunately, I got an opportunity in 1990 to visit University of California, Los Angeles, but there was no money in the pocket. I was not getting any fellowship, but today it is very easy to get fellowship. Those days it was very difficult. And then I visited UCLA after a lot of struggle, but I never said no. It is possible. When you think on your own positively, positive thing happens. If you think negatively, negative thing happens. So always think positive. Okay? I will visit that particular university. That was the gut feeling in my inner voice, and then I listened to that particular inner voice, and research was my passion. I visited UCLA amidst different difficulties I faced, and I overcame a lot of difficulties and visited UCLA. I saw there, and then I came back. So my intention of telling you this particular story briefly is that when you want to start your own career in your chosen field, first go there, go out, see what people are doing, take a total survey. The survey is very, very important. Unless and until you know what other people are doing, you cannot decide what I should do. Otherwise, just by looking at the research papers, just by looking at the research lab on the website, will not develop your vision for yourself. You have to develop your own mission statement and vision statement, and then only it is possible for you to get success. So I am a material scientist. I was thinking about how to start in talking about artificial intelligence. Basically, Dr. Armote sir, who is expert in artificial intelligence, is going to talk to you about what is AI and what are the effects, advantages, limitations and disadvantages of AI. I am not here because I told you that I am not expert in AI. So if you broadly classify the technology age, I can classify into two things. One is pre-World War II era and post-World War II era. When World War I happened, people thought about and people felt the need of developing some equipment for the analysis of the data. Because war is very big and you need big data. The data was generated, but there was no equipment to analyze that particular data. Some very bright people, they invented vacuum tube. Vacuum tube, that is also called as a valve, which has a bigger size, but it had a power and ability of calculating. Calculation was very important those days. Calculation of war calculation, because whenever there is a war or some national calamities, funds will flow. If there are funds, then you can develop some equipments and facilities, infrastructure because of the war or many other national calamities like COVID-19. When there is a COVID-19, lot of funds flow into the COVID-19 research. So vacuum tube was invented before World War II, and lot of research was revolving around the vacuum tube, which was very, very bulky. The size of the computer was like the size of this hall. Many people were using the same computer at the same time. At that time it was called as a shared computer. One person was handling only mouse, other person was handling only keyboard, third person was just rotating some wheels, because that time there was no automation. The size of the computer was big. Many people were sharing one computer, therefore that particular age was defined as a shared computing age. Then the main breakthrough came in 1947, just on the verge of WW2, that is World War II. That is Bratton, Pardee and Shockley. Those were the three scientists from US AT&T lab. They invented the first semiconductor-based transistor. Today also we are using transistors. Today, if we think about our own life, we cannot think about the life without transistors. Today we have billions of transistors in our pocket in the form of smartphone. If there is no invention of transistor in 1947 by Shockley, we would not be using the smartphones today. So this particular entire development started with the invention of transistor in 1947. But the transistor size was very big. And after the invention of transistor happened, another gentleman, by the way, these three scientists got Nobel Prize because they converted vacuum tube into transistor. Altogether different device which has not used any vacuum. It was totally devoid of vacuum and it is made up of a semiconductor. But the size was big, the concept was new, and it was a disruptive innovation, and therefore they got Nobel Prize. Immediately some other scientist was working in that transistor field. He thought about joining some more components in the same circuit, and he first invented large scale integration. John Kilby, I met him several times in Singapore conferences, where that happens once in 2 years, and they invite more than 6 to 10 Nobel laureates in that particular conference. And I attended many conferences in Singapore, and whenever I go, I used to discuss with the Nobel laureates. There is no problem. You can go there and talk friendly. Ask whatever the question that you have in mind about them. Sir, how did you invent this? You can directly ask them. They will be very happy to answer your questions. Only thing is that we have to ask questions. So we have to inculcate the habit of asking questions into the students. If we don't inculcate that particular habit in the students, they will never ask questions. They will never ask questions to others, and they will not ask questions to themselves. The habit of asking questions will inhibit the growth of your intellectual and cognitive skills. So we have to ask questions. Okay? Like ChatGPT will not answer unless you ask questions. Right? So you have to ask questions. Then John Kilby, who invented this integrated circuit, and many other people who were working in that particular area, they started increasing number of transistors in one circuit, that is called as a large scale integration and very large scale integration. In short, it is called as a VLSI. In your smartphone, you have VLSI circuits. This very large scale integration means you can join hundreds and thousands of transistors in one circuit. Then some people found out some different technology. They said that thousands are nothing. and I can integrate 10,000 transistors in one circuit. Then the technology developed, Moore's law developed. Moore was a scientist working in the Silicon Valley. He developed his own law. Number of transistors that can fit in 1 centimeter square area will double every 2 years. And that Moore's law is obeyed till today. The computing power is increasing. Today your smartphone is very powerful because it has VLSI circuit. And how many transistors are there? Not only 1,000, 10,000, but millions of transistors in the circuit of smartphone and laptops and powerful computers. And in supercomputers, more than that. We have that facility with us now, at our disposal. Only thing is that we should know how to use it for our own research and for our own product development. We have to know the facilities are there. Okay, so slowly this transistor size shrink down. That is called as shrinking the size of the devices and making the devices with diminishing dimensions. Is it possible to fabricate the device with diminishing dimensions? That was the concept given by Sir Michael Faraday and Richard Feynman. And in the Richard Feynman, what he said, whatever is the size of the device, I will shrink it. For example, this is the mic. You can see that mic, right? But tomorrow I can develop a mic which is invisible, but it will follow the same principle. It will make that particular thing happen. It will amplify my voice. So if we just keep on reducing the size of the mic, it is called as shrinking of the size of the device. And devices with diminishing dimensions means the device is invisible to our human eye. Today, the transistor is the invisible to human eye. If you see the integrated circuit, you will see only lines. But if you see that particular line through powerful microscopes, the line is composed of billions of transistors that you cannot see with your eye. That means it is invisible. So that is the integration circuit. That is a very large scale integration circuit that increases the power of computers. That increases the power of your smartphone. And therefore it can execute millions to billions of instructions per second. We have never thought about this. Executing power of the machine has risen from millions of instructions per second to billions of instructions per second by integrating several transistors into one. In my opinion, as far as my knowledge goes, the circuit size is now as low, as less as 5 nanometer. Means 5 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. And there are some companies, probably you might have seen some of the newspaper, maybe last 2-3 months, and you might have seen the name of the company was flashed in the newspaper, that was Foxconn. Have you heard of this? Yes, Foxconn is a company which is a fabricator, of the transistor devices. They have fabrication facility of fabricating transistor of 5 to 10 nanometer. And that is exactly the size required for assembling and becoming the part of the integrated circuit in your mobile phone. Now, what about memory? We have memory, right? How many telephone numbers you can save in your brain? Probably 1 or 2. Earlier when we were using only landlines, I used to remember 10, 20. But now I am using smartphone, so I cannot remember only more than 5. Probably our family members we can remember, others we cannot remember because they are stored in the memory of your phone. So we depend on the memory of phone rather than our own memory. So we are a parasite. If your phone is lost, you are lost. Your entire things will lost, right? So we are dependent. This smartphone is the integrated part of our life. So tomorrow, artificial intelligence will also an integral part of our life. It is going to change the way we travel. It is going to change the way we take medicines. It is going to change the way we shop in the market. It is going to change everyday aspect of our everyday life. That is artificial intelligence. So I was talking about the memory. So memory size was very small. Then people were talking about TB. From KB to TB, there was a development in memory size, kilobytes to terabytes. But terabytes is also low. Now people are thinking that TB is not, 1 TB is not good. 10 TB why maybe. Some people are saying that I need 100 TB. So how many transistors we can fit in? Because 1 bit you need 1 transistor. 10 TB means 10 into 10 is to 12 transistors. 10 is to 12 is a very big number. And how many transistors you can join in one circuit is now, of course it is continuously developing. The people thought about something different. I told you that you should have creative idea. Some gentleman and researcher, computer researcher thought that why to depend on this physical memory, why can't we have a cloud computing? So there is a memory, there is no limit for that cloud computing, cloud memory. You can save as many data as possible in the cloud. We don't know where our data is going, but it is coming. So we rely on that particular cloud computing. These are the days that we felt during the last 3 decades. These are the major changes that happened in the hardware side. Hardware side during the only 3 decades, 30 years. So only hardware without software is of no use. Only software without hardware has no use, and therefore hardware and software should marry together. So there were some companies, they were fabricating and they were coming out developing some softwares like Google, Apple, Android. Those are the softwares which are compatible to the hardware. Hardware was ready, software was ready, and then now therefore we can use this cloud computing and computers and smartphones. Okay, so this is the way. Now, what is ChatGPT and AI? It is software. Amazon, Google, Alibaba, everything is a software. They are product, but software product, right? So, how to make use of ChatGPT? How to make use of AI? And are we using AI today? Yes, we are using. Because, for instance, today I started from my home. I asked Dr. S.V. Patil sir, where you have, he was waiting for me on the highway. I said that just please send your location. He said send his location. I was tracking his location through Google Map. What is Google Map? It is a sort of AI. So this navigation is using artificial intelligence. It is dynamically calculating the traffic, amount of traffic on the road that you are traveling. How many people are traveling on the road on one day at the same time simultaneously in the entire world? It is having an entire program of tracking everyone. That is artificial intelligence. ChatGPT is a search engine. We can search with the help of Google, right? But Google has some limitation. It may show you some Wikipedia or some of the websites which are there related to your searches. But ChatGPT will analyze your searches and give you whatever you need. So ChatGPT has some intelligence. That is artificial intelligence. And who infused that intelligence into the machine? Man. So it is man-made program. So man trained a machine. So machine has now ability of learning. Machine has the ability of thinking like us. The students are learning, students are thinking, students are independently thinking. Similarly, machines are thinking. And who trained those machines? Man trained those machines, and therefore machine is working. That we depend on our memory. Our memory depends on our brain and the information that we store in the brain, and the habit that we inculcate of analyzing that information from our own experiences. That is part of the cognitive skills. That doesn't require any artificial. It is a natural. But for machine, we have to train. Now I just read somewhere and heard somewhere that the persons are needed in USA who can train the robots, who can train the machines. Okay? Probably one fine day, if you see, that may be fantasy. But in some of the classrooms in America, all the students are machines, not human beings. Probably that is possible. So I am a teacher, I am teaching these machines, I am teaching these robots. And these robots will tomorrow become intelligent robots because I am teaching them. I know how to train them. And they will obey my orders as a teacher. Probably students may not obey, but the machines will obey. And they will not forget. Students may forget what I am teaching, but the machines may not forget. So, the person like me, who is a scientist, rely heavily on the machines than the man. Have you understood that? What are the advantages of machines over man? Machine will obey all your orders. Machine will obey all your schedules. It will not forget whatever you are teaching them. Whatever you are teaching them. Students or human being may forget, may not follow your orders, may not follow your schedule. So there are some positive points in machines, and therefore people are trying to train the machines rather than the brain. And our brain has a definite limitation of the memory. Machines do not have limitations on the memory, the human being. That's why the artificial intelligence is growing. Okay? Today if I ask the pharmacy students a question from arts, humanities, ethics and history, he may not be able to answer right. But I can ask the same question from maybe humanities, the same question to the machine. At the same time, I can ask the question about the engineering or pharmacy or medicine. You can ask any question. Domain is not a boundary for the machine. Because in higher education, we are teaching the students in a particular domain of engineering, pharmacy, arts, commerce, science. So we are limiting their domain of thinking. They can think only in that domain. They are confined in the narrow domain, but the machines are not confined because its memory is numerous, uncountable and expandable memory, and therefore machines are powerful. They can think anything, they have solutions on anything, they can analyze big data for you, provided you have big data. Okay? Now, whether you probably are using Scopus indexed journals, which are very standard journals with high impact factors. So if your domain is COVID-19 research, you just type COVID-19 research and biomolecules or nanomolecules used for the COVID-19, it will give you all the papers. It will search from the database and give you all the papers which are published in the domain of COVID-19 biomolecules. It will not think. It will just deliver whatever the keywords that you have filled. That depends, the search depends on your keywords, and it will give you the results. Maybe thousands of papers it will give you. But you have to read those papers on your own. You have to analyze those papers. You have to take a survey of those literature, and without that, you will not be able to come to some conclusion. But if you can train the ChatGPT, if you can train some artificial intelligence machine, it will analyze entire data and it will give you something which is creative. I don't know whether it is possible. Dr. Admoti sir and many other scientists like Maurya sir, Botte sir will tell you probably, but you have to ask them question whether it is possible to search this thing, whether it has real intelligence. Okay, so those are the questions. So what is my opinion today and take home message is that ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, everything is there as a tool. It will not substitute a man. I need JRFs, I need researchers, I don't need any machines. Though it can think differently, but they cannot think like a human. I don't know. Probably Admoti sir can tell me later on. So I need researcher. I need a researcher who has hardcore research experience, who has gone and visited several labs and has done a lot of researchers on his own synthesis, characterization, calculations, this and that. Then the researcher will be developed through these hardships only. And then if you need, at some point of time, when you are expert and if you need something immediately, then only you can use ChatGPT or AI for that particular task only. Don't heavily depend on AI. So please, you have to develop your cognitive skills on your own. Research will not be replaced by the artificial intelligence. Today I can say that. Probably I don't know what will happen after 1 year. But today what I think is that all the scientists, all the researchers and students should go to their own labs. There is no shortcut. You have to do experiments. Maybe you are successful or failure. Don't bother, because you can learn through every failure. That we know. So whatever is the consequences, whether it is a success or failure, you have to go there, attempt to learn, and it is a continuous learning process. And once you feel that there is a bottleneck, once you feel that there is ice to be broken, and if you feel that this research that you have conducted shall be translated into the product or technology, then you can take help of ChatGPT or AI. With the help of ChatGPT or AI as a tool, you can break that particular ice. You can break that particular bottleneck, and you may come out with very wonderful results. But if you start using it right from the beginning, how should I conduct this reaction? Don't use small things. Don't ask smaller things. Don't ask very layman things to GPT. Ask intelligent questions to ChatGPT. Then only you will get very good answers. Okay? So that is the message that you can take from today's lecture. So I'm sure this workshop will give you entirely new dimension of thinking about artificial intelligence and use of artificial intelligence in product development of pharmacy. We have seen in COVID-19 how accelerated research was conducted in India. The vaccines were developed in a very short time, and they were deployed and they were useful. So we have seen all these developments in the field of pharmacy. And that particular development is very, very encouraging to entire sector of pharmaceutical industries in India and pharmaceutical education in India. So wish you all the best, and once again I would like to thank Dr. S.V. Patil sir for inviting me here to talk on the field which is not my expertise, but I learned many things about artificial intelligence within 2 days. Okay. So you can also see and learn many things about artificial intelligence, but don't deviate your path from hardcore pharmacy. That is the important message that I want to give you. There is no shortcut for hard work and research in pharmacy. You can use ChatGPT and AI only if you are stuck somewhere. Okay? So thank you so much.
Esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Ashok Mane College of Pharmacy, Betwadga, and organizing committee, it gives me immense pleasure to extend heartfelt vote of thanks on this special occasion. This program is sponsored by Sir. I first and foremost would like to express my deepest gratitude to Honorable Dr. P.S. Patil, Pro VC, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, for gracing this occasion with their esteemed presence. Your presence has not only added prestige to this program, but also inspired us all with your wisdom and insight. We are truly honored by your support and encouragement.